Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So this is Anime Explain, and with One Piece manga chapter 1853, something very interesting got revealed, and that is the fact that Pudding, one of Big Mom's daughters, was a free-eyed girl who has the ability to quote-unquote read the poneglyphs. Now, while a lot of people have focused on obviously what that could mean for the overall story, with Big Mom obviously having her own trump card, with Big Mom also knowing or having known Roger, what I found very interesting was the fact that nobody actually realized that the fact that Pudding could read the poneglyph meant that it finally made sense why Fishman Island would be destroyed. Now, for the longest time, I have always wondered how Fishman Island would be destroyed, because although it may not seem like the greatest thing that may happen in the story, for me it always seemed like such a massive thing, because in One Piece we haven't actually seen a country be totally destroyed, and in the case of Fishman Island, that would mean that the Fishmans and the mermaids would have to move. And considering the racism that is taking place in the world of One Piece, that would obviously be a tremendous step. Now, for me, it's always been clear that Fishman Island would either be destroyed either by, say, the One Piece being a kind of mechanism which would unite all the oceans, or via Big Mom. Now, the reason why I always thought it could also be Big Mom is because we got properly introduced to her in Fishman Island, and I thought it would pretty much make sense if we ultimately see the demise of Fishman Island through Big Mom. But I never really knew how that was going to work out. But now with Pudding being revealed to be able to read the poneglyphs, I think this now totally makes sense, because if you actually think about it, we've been told already in the story that there are some poneglyphs that just show information, and that there are other poneglyphs that show the location. There are some poneglyphs that show locations, and some poneglyphs that show history. And if you actually think about it, obviously we know that that Shirahoshi is Poseidon. Now, if Pudding reads about Shirahoshi being Poseidon, or Poseidon being in Fishman Island, and then obviously that leading to Shirahoshi being Poseidon, then you could assume that Big Mom would go after Poseidon, considering that she is actually very interested, and she actually seems like the first Yonko that we've seen besides Blackbeard who actually is interested in the One Piece and potentially in the Void Century as well. Now, what I mean by that is obviously we've seen Blackbeard and he is very interested in the One Piece. We've seen Shanks, he doesn't seem to be very interested in the One Piece, considering that he probably was already there. And then we see Kaido, who just seems to A, want to kill himself, and B, want to cause a war. Now, there is a third possibility that I've not mentioned so far, and that is that although Big Mom might find out that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, we might also get Kaido arriving at the same time with him finding out that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, considering that he should know the information by now, since Drake captured whatever his name was, a swamp dude. I can't actually remember his name, but yeah, like it finally makes sense how Big Mom would possibly destroy Fishman Island. In my opinion, that is just the way I can see it being destroyed. That's the only way I can see it being destroyed, that it's going to be Big Mom specifically, and she's going to find out about Poseidon being at Fishman Island. Luffy's going to try and protect her, and then ultimately that's how it's going to go haywire, and that's how Fishman Island will get destroyed. And this may not happen anytime soon. Like, I don't predict this to happen anytime soon. I think that we're gonna see Wano very soon. I predicted that before. I said that Wano would come first. Wano would be the Yonko that the Straw Hats would take down as an alliance, and that would obviously be with Law, potentially with Apu, Hawkins, maybe even X-Drake and Kid. So we'd have quite a large alliance, and then I see the Straw just going on their journey, just getting stronger and stronger. Pudding then finally awakening her third eye, being able to read the poneglyphs. Big Mom actually hunting for poneglyphs and making a lot of copies, because all we know so far is that she has 2 poneglyphs and 1 road poneglyphs, but we don't actually know if she has any copies. And then Pudding would read it. Pudding would see, okay, you know what? Poseidon is in Fishman Island, and it's a human. Well, it's a mermaid. And then Big Mom would make the connection to Poseidon, and that is then ultimately how Fishman Island would get destroyed. That's what I think. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think it's a very good theory? Do you think it's a very credible theory? I think it's a very good theory. I think it's a very credible theory as well. And that's all there is, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye.